Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel. I've had a request over social media. I'm not going to name the name. I'm going to call them George to protect their identity. George sent me a question about a bit of a scenario. So he said, what would you do if you were flying around trees and you flew into a bag of shit that someone had left in a tree and it caked itself all over your quad? So I'm thinking to myself, that is a very, very good question and an important question to ask, and I think I'm duty bound to answer that question. Okay, so what I did this morning to help George, I took my quad out, found a suitable place to fly, made sure there was a bag of shit handy in a tree, and proceeded to hit it, the result of which you'll see. There, can you see that? Quad covered in shit. So the question is, how do we go about cleaning it? Well, I could just run it under the tap, could get a jet wash on it, but I've got a feeling that it'll never work again. So George, this is what I think you should do. So we're going to need some equipment. The first thing we're going to need is something to get rid of the gross debris, and it is fucking gross, which is why we're outside. So I've got a fish and chip fork, which I'm going to use to get rid of the gross debris. I have got a metal skewer, which I'm going to use to get rid of the little sticky bits of shit that seem to get everywhere. I'm going to use my wife's toothbrush, don't tell her, to really get in and get the shit out. And I'm going to use this. This is the secret weapon. Not so secret. This is the weapon of choice. It's 99.9% isopropyl alcohol, which will not do any damage to any of the electronics. My fear is, as he's shaking the bottle about violently, that if I was to use water, the mineral deposits in the shit would just knacker the tracers on the flight controller, on the ESCs, on the camera, and fuck it, and it would never work again. So my weapon of choice is isopropyl. So let's get started. So right, pilots and ground crew, to the table. So what would be really gross is if we were to just do this on the table. Bear in mind, we occasionally eat meals from this. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to take the lipo out, which is also covered in shit. So I need to clean that as well. I'm going to put the quad, I'm going to have to wash my hands anyway. I'm going to put the quad in there. And I'm going to start, and I've probably got 400ml of this stuff, and I really don't mind if I use it all on this. This is about £6 to replace. Quad is considerably more. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start teasing away at this shit. And I could probably analyse how healthy the dog is while I'm doing this. I might actually put a poster up saying, if you were the dog owner that put a bag of shit in the tree, I suggest you get your dog to the vet quick, just to see if they're panicked. But you can see, so I'm carefully teasing the dog shit. I'll probably get rid of that tie wrap. if I can't get rid of all the feces from it. But you get the picture. Get the gross debris out. It's pretty much like when I used to work on the production lines. You do gross debris removal first with big tools before you get the big guns out and start cleaning things with soap and water, J-cloths and scouring pads. So yeah, we're doing gross debris removal, and it is fucking gross. Yeah, and it's not doing too bad actually. So the good thing about the isopropyl is it'll kill everything, so it's going to be nice and clean, but it's not going to damage the electronics. It might damage my wife's toothbrush. Yes, I think I will. Yeah, remember, guys, I'm going to wash my hands. So, I think I shall sacrifice the straps. Now, I got these from Johnny's Life. These are the luminaire woven, and they're actually guaranteed. So they're guaranteed against snapping, fatigue. So all you do is send them back and they'll replace them. I'm not sure, I need to check the small print to see whether it covers them being covered in shit. Probably doesn't. But as you'll see, these are nicely hot glued in to avoid them moving, and I might just put them in the washer because they're not cheap. But getting the straps off certainly enables me to get in and start getting all this shit out. I'm not going to be able to get everything. It might end up being renamed. So this is Roy. It was Roy before he got covered in dog shit. Roy the Rooster. I've had him 18 months now. He's just had a new flight controller and a new VTX, and the motors, which are the iFlight Zings. Actually can't pronounce Xing, but no one does, because the guy who designed them is Mr. Xing, not Mr. Zing or Mr. Ixing. Yeah, so they've had two of them have had new bearings, and they get regularly stripped down and cleaned with blue tack to get rid of crap, literally, in this case. Motors didn't get touched with this crap, so I'll get away with them. Tend to get really made up in bandos that have got iron filings, rust. Just sticks to the magnets and the motors. So yeah, best course of action there is just to get out your blue tack and give everything a good clean. Not easy trying to get iron filings away from magnets, but they will fuck your motors up. Yeah, so we're getting there now. One of the good things about the isopropyl, it should kill any nasty bugs that are in here. So the only thing that will potentially be left over is just organic matter, dead organic matter. certainly preferable to covering it in water. I might have been alright, I don't know. It's a route that I've chosen to go down. So who the fuck are you to tell me it's wrong? Okay. It's worth its weight in gold, is this stuff. It really is. Because you can literally cut everywhere with it. Wife's toothbrush. Give it a bit of a clean before it goes back into the bathroom tonight. Hopefully she won't smell the dog shit. Yeah, it's really getting in there nicely now. So yeah, several thousand people have asked after I posted on social media this morning about landing in a bag of shit. What my immediate thoughts were on ploughing into this bag of shit. And I think the thing that's disturbed me more than anything, alright, I'm not particularly enjoying getting dog shit off my quad, it's the fact that it's a scout camp. So some fucker, some dirty bastard has, knowingly walking through a scout camp with a dog, allowed the dog to empty his bowels, which is bad enough right around the area where young boys will camp. Thinking it's alright to let it dump on the grass, because I doubt that it dumped in a tree. Pick up the turd, put it in a little bag and then tie it to a fucking tree. So yeah, I'd love to get inside the person's head that thought that was okay. Many people say that pressure washers alright, doing okay? That's my wife inquiring how we're getting on, cleaning the shit off. Better not tell her that I'm using a toothbrush. So yeah, I think we're getting there now. Yeah. I'll leave some on for comedic action. Yeah, so what should I call it? What should I call this quad? Can't really call it Roy now. It must be something beginning with shit or turd, feces. Is there a word or a term for shit beginning with R? Because all of my roosters names begin with R. So we've got Roy, we've got Roger, and we've got Rocky. I've never actually got on with that name, Rocky. Rocky the Rooster. Named after Rocky from Chicken Run. I could just check them off, can I? Just put new on. Yeah, it just means taking it off, doesn't it? I should have brought something sharp up. Oh, it's still messy, isn't it? Yeah, I'll get most of it off, and then later I shall replace that fabric tape. Just get this shit out of ESC wires. So yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, I feel far safer coating this with isopropyl than water. Ultimately it's a trust thing then. I don't know whether I trust the electronics again. Considering what it weighs when it's got its GoPro, and you're looking at 5,500 grams. 5,500 grams. It shouldn't be flown lightly. Certainly around other people, even if it's just your spotter. And if it's got dodgy electronics because it's been through a fucking car wash, it's not good, is it? Could run a poll actually and say, would you... Sorry about that. So we're back. Found another SD card. While I've got an SD card, I've got something else, and that is an Allen key. So again, remember, disclaimer, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to actually take off this top plate, which will allow me access to the top of the VTX and the flight controller. Got rid of most of the gross debris, just a case of getting rid of the shit that's dried. Fucking dog is so annoying. Yeah, that's all it fucking knows. Yeah. Fucking yeah. Screws are sorted. So I can give this a quick scrub. Seems to be okay now. Nice and clean. Oh, that side's not though. Make a call later on whether I'm going to reuse those straps. Probably not. Yeah, maybe should have got a different cloth. So yeah, happy that that's clean now. I'm now going to coat all this one. So you can see the reason why I've taken the top off. You can see that there's a lot of that shit still got into the VTX. Crossfire receiver and flight controller. There's a little bit, I know that were discoloured anyway, around the Fly Finder buzzer, so I'm not so worried about that. But yeah, I'd say we're nearly there. I think we've salvaged it. Dirty fucking bastards. Yeah, without being too crude, the alcohols start to loosen this. Strange to use the term hydrate. So it's rehydrated the shit that's dried on from this morning. I'm not sure whether alcohol has the ability to hydrate, because it's not water. So would it soften like water does? No, I don't think it would. Anyway, we'll get in there now. One thing I need to bear in mind as I'm scrubbing this titanium is it's probably a lot of build-up of grass and soil and other misdemeanors before this morning, so I'm not going to panic too much about getting off the stubborn stuff, because I know that isn't shit. Yeah, and the last thing I wanted to do was totally strip it down. It's just not necessary. Certainly makes sense taking the top plate off, because I'm going to have to put some new straps in anyway. But yeah, I think we're just about done. Just give it a whiz round. See if there's any. Oh yeah, there's some nice lumps of turd on the back stairs. We'll get out. Yeah, because there's a nice screw thread all the way through these rear stairs, so I'm quite keen to clean those out rather than have the shit linger too long. I'm going to get a cloth on the HD camera mount and give that a wipe. But I would say that is job done. So next step is replace all this cloth tape. Give that a scrub. Get the cage back on and take it out tomorrow and test it. And hope it doesn't land in any more shit. So anyway, pilots and ground crew, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen, please remember to subscribe, press that bell so that you're informed when I've uploaded more gripping content. And now I've done this, I can turn my attention to editing today's footage, which turned out alright in the end. I'm going to put the GoPro in. So I've still got some practice to do on power loops, because ever since lockdown I've lost my nerve a little bit, and I'm not where I was before. My right hand is playing up. I've lost my nerve a bit with power loops, so it's put me back a bit. So a couple of decent power loops on video, which will appear in my edited video. I picked the music, which is going to be Sigrid's Strangers, which I like because it changes tempo 3 or 4 times through the song. So what I want to do is I want a cruisy bit, then a little bit faster, and then for the really fast bits, the high tempo stuff, I want some racing through trees, hitting gaps, power loops, and then the song slows down a little bit more. also go back to some cruisy bits around the campfire, under the tree, around the buildings. So just work out what my target tempos should be for certain sections of flying. Because I do enjoy editing as well as cleaning shit off. So yeah, I'd say I'm there. I'm not doing any more. Let it dry all the isopropyl. Take seconds. Give that a scrub. Put the top plate on. And put some battery straps on it. Looking at this though, it looks just as dirty. But fortunately I know that this ain't got any shit on it. Winner winner. Love my roosters. Reminds me I need to order some props. So, while you're not throwing up over all this talk of shit, I'm going to crack on now. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you like what you've seen, subscribe, press that bell end, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. Pilots and ground crew.